So I just listed one of my own properties for rent today, and I used a pricing principle that I've had a lot of success with, and I want to share it with y'all today. There's probably some academic name for this, but I just call it the Ricky Jobs principle of pricing, and I name it after the late great Steve Jobs and my good friend Ricky, who I sold wireless phones with like 20 years ago. Hope you're doing well out there, Ricky. He taught me how to sell a lot of phones because Ricky understood the same thing Steve Jobs understood, which is the consumer mindset. Give you a little context. It's a little longer than my usual content, but trust me, you're going to want to hear this story, especially if you're trying to list a property and get it rented out yourself. Mind you, 2008, 2009, I think this was, the iPhone 3G had just come out, and I was working for a large wireless carrier at the time selling cell phones. And back then, I had just missed the boat on the new iPhone 3G coming out. So all the Apple fanboys had come and gone, right? It's just more regular folks coming in the store most days. And here's what you have to remember. The average person back then paid nothing for a cell phone. Like they didn't even expect to pay. It was just common knowledge. You go to the store and get a free phone when it's time to upgrade. Only executives with Blackberries and nerds and Apple fanboys bought expensive phones, right? Everybody else got a free phone. People would walk into the store and they would ask us simple questions like, hey, that phone over there on the wall, what does it cost? And here's what you have to remember: great financial crisis, carrier battles between each other. The bright minds in the executive suite thought it was a good idea to add rebates and all these complex bundles to sell more product and also make the price of the phone appear cheaper than it was. So if you ask me how much does that phone cost, I had to be like, well, it all depends. Are you getting the DirecTV bundle, the 1 year upgrade, the 2 year upgrade, using the instant rebate combined with the mail-in rebate, and the Bluetooth bundle, which includes this device but not that device? I mean, it was so stupid. It was so freaking stupid. It was so complicated. People's eyes would just roll in the back of their heads, basically. And Ricky understood this. He was good at selling any phone in the store, but he understood the frustration and the power of simplicity that Apple had in their pricing. So here's what he would do. You would come in the store, and if you were in the 5% of people who truly just wanted a phone that only made calls, and that was it, he'd be like, here's your Pantech Breeze. It's $100 or free with the upgrade. I'll transfer your contacts. Bye-bye. See you later. Right? Super fast and easy sale. The person was very satisfied. Got exactly what they wanted. Everybody else virtually bought an iPhone from him, and he sold a lot of iPhones very quickly also and got rave reviews from his customers. Because here's what he would do. You'd ask him about a phone or what phone he thinks you should buy. He'd be like, you see that display over there, the really fancy one? That's the best phone in the store. $999 is the price, $1,000. And people would be like, okay. And by the time he'd show you any other phone and get even halfway through that long BS pricing spiel, people's eyes were glazing over. They were like, you know what? Give me the iPhone. Like, they were so just about the other experience of the other phones. They were like, give me the one that's 999. Done deal every time. Like he sold a lot of phones like that. And the best part was the customers were stoked. They told their friends, told their family, they were happy about their new toy. They were not planning to spend money. They didn't come in to buy an iPhone either. They were happy that someone showed them something really cool and useful, and they were happy to pay money for it in a time when people were tight to spend any money at all. So fast forward to real estate. What I want you to keep in mind is that the people who tried to buy those other phones had like smoke coming out of their ears because it took so long to sell them and it was so complicated. Like people left even with their new phone, like, "Ugh, never want to do that again. That sucked. The experience was terrible." Today, I look at listings in the residential space and I see so many, even those that are professionally managed, with fee after fee after fee and all these complicated add-ons and things like that. Now, mind you, in residential, comps drive value. In commercial, $2 a month extra in NOI, net operating income, that will increase the value of the property. There's a rhyme and reason for that stuff in that space. But if you're just trying to list one of your own single family rentals, charging a pet fee or all these extra fees, a lot of times it just makes it harder for the consumer to buy your product. So when I list my listings, here's what I do. I just simply say it's 2 grand a month. That's it. Includes everything. Deposit, and there's your rent over here, and that's it. I don't charge a pet fee. I don't charge landscaping fees. I saw someone today that had a utility administrative fee. So I'm like, wait a minute. You're going to pay the water bill for the tenant, but charge them like 25 bucks a month to administer you paying the water bill. Like, see how stupid that sounds? Consumers despise this. They will go after the simple option, even if it's more expensive. But I combine this with value pricing, so I really fill my vacancies pretty quickly. My point here is, y'all, just remember there's so much power in keeping your product, your process, and your pricing really, really simple. Ricky and Steve Jobs did really well because of it. If you want more tips, hit the follow button.